Old pottery can look dusty, cracked, and completely ordinary. But the right maker, glaze, pattern, or signature can turn a forgotten vase into a valuable collectible. Today, we're counting down 20 old pottery pieces that may be worth far more than you think. Number 20, McCoy cookie jars. McCoy jars were made for everyday kitchens, which is why many still hide in cabinets, garages, and basements. Common examples are affordable but unusual characters, scarce colors, rare decorations, and complete jars with their original lids can attract serious collectors. Check the base for an impressed McCoy mark, inspect the rim for repairs, and remember that convincing reproductions exist. The McCoy Pottery Collectors Society continues to document specialist auction results for these once ordinary kitchen pieces. Number 19, Hull Bow Knot Vases. Hull's pastel bow knot pottery is recognizable by its pink and blue coloring, raised flowers, ribbons, and dramatic cornucopia shapes. Larger sizes, uncommon forms, strong original color, and matching pairs are usually the most desirable. Look beneath the vase for hull markings and a shape number, then check every flower petal for tiny chips. A piece sitting unnoticed on a bedroom dresser becomes much more interesting when it is a rare size or part of a complete matching set. Number 18. Red Wing Advertising Crocks. Stoneware crocks once stored butter, pickles, meat, and other household goods, so many ended up forgotten in barns, porches, sheds, and farmhouses. Their value depends heavily on size, decoration, advertising names, stamps, and rarity. In January 2026, a rare Red Wing crock that had spent decades on a Nebraska porch sold for an astonishing $32,000 after collectors noticed its unusual markings. Painted birds, butterflies, local business names, unusual colors, and double stamps should never be ignored. Number 17. Weller Sicard Pottery. Weller produced many decorative pottery lines, but pieces designed by Jacques Sicard are especially sought after. They often have shimmering metallic surfaces, flowing flowers, and iridescent colors that resemble oil floating on water. Large floor vases and clearly signed examples can be particularly valuable. Auction estimates for impressive Weller Sicard vases have reached approximately $7,000. Look near the base for the glazed Weller Sicard signature and examine the body carefully for hairline cracks, filled chips, or hidden restoration. Before we continue, subscribe and tell us in the comments which pottery piece you would check first inside your home, and never aggressively scrub an old pot or remove a faded paper label before identifying it. One careless cleaning could erase a maker's mark, damage the original surface, or remove the detail that proves its value. Number 16. Fulper Crystalline Glaze Vases. Fulper pottery is known for thick, unpredictable glazes in green, blue, rose, purple, and brown. Early marks, exhibition labels, unusual shapes, and dramatic color combinations can increase collector interest. Christie's has offered Fulper pieces with original labels connected to the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition. Turn the vase over and search for a stamped Fulper mark rather than identifying it only by color, because several competing potteries produce similar-looking glazes during the same period. Number 15. Moorcroft Florian Ware. Early William Moorcroft pottery uses tube-line decoration, with raised outlines separating areas of rich color. Florian ware from around 1900 frequently features stylized flowers in deep shades of blue and green. Signed examples made for McIntyre or Liberty are particularly collectible. Bonhams has sold early Florian ware vases for hundreds of pounds, even when restoration was present, while rarer patterns can sell for considerably more. Look underneath for early factory marks and the painted words W. Moorcroft Des. Number 14. Clarice Cliff Bizarre Pottery. Clarice Cliff transformed Art Deco pottery shapes with bright oranges, greens, yellows, geometric landscapes, and daring patterns. Her bizarre, fantasque, and specialty designs can be worth far more than plain later pieces. In one Christie's collection sale, individual vases reached several $1,000s, while a group of 25 plates sold for $6,000. The exact pattern, shape, completeness, and condition matter enormously, so check the underside for both the Clarice Cliff name and any printed or painted pattern information. Number 13. Roseville Futura Pottery. Many Roseville pieces remain affordable, but the experimental Futura line attracts serious collectors because of its unusual geometric forms and modern color combinations. Tank vases, stepped bases, angular handles, and scarce glazes look very different from the familiar floral Roseville pieces found in many homes. Some genuine examples originally carried only paper labels, meaning an unmarked vase may still be authentic. Compare the shape, measurements, glaze colors, and model number with reliable Roseville catalog references before selling it cheaply. Number 12. Teco Prairie School. Vases. Teco pottery is known for smooth, matte green glaze and strong architectural forms connected with the Prairie School. Some examples have geometric supports, dramatic buttresses, or shapes that still appear surprisingly modern today. Rare models, large sizes, and important designer connections can bring serious money. Sotheby's has handled notable Teco works, including a monumental vase created through a collaboration involving Frank Lloyd Wright. Search for impressed Teco markings and model numbers beneath the base, but remember that many manufacturers copied the famous green glaze. Number 11. Dedham Rabbit Pottery. Dedham pottery commonly has crackled white glaze and blue borders showing rabbits, ducks, elephants, or other animals. Standard rabbit plates are collectible, but unusual subjects and artist-decorated pieces can be considerably more valuable. A Rago catalog estimated a rare Golden Gate plate at $3,000 to $4,000 and an unusual animal dish at $1,000 to $1,500. The familiar blue rabbit stamp helps identify the pottery, but value ultimately depends on the exact decoration, size, age, condition, and rarity. Number 10. Newcomb College Pottery. Created in New Orleans, Newcomb pottery often shows southern flowers, trees, landscapes, and wildlife. Pieces may carry several different marks identifying the pottery, decorator, potter, date, and shape. In 2024, a scenic Newcomb vase decorated with palmettos sold for $10,710, while exceptional examples have achieved considerably more. Look for carved oak trees, Spanish moss, moonlit scenes, flowers, and an impressed NC mark. Those tiny symbols on the bottom can reveal exactly when and by whom the piece was created. Number 9. Artist-decorated Rookwood vases. Rookwood's most desirable pieces are often signed by individual artists and decorated with landscapes, animals, portraits, or detailed flowers. A vase decorated by Kotaro Shirayamadani was estimated by Christie's at $2,500 to $3,500, while major works by celebrated Rookwood decorators can rise much higher. Learn to read the Rookwood flame mark, date symbol, shape number, glaze name, and artist initials. A few markings that appear meaningless can transform an anonymous attic vase into a fully documented work of American art. Number 8. Gruby Matte Green Pottery. Gruby is famous for heavy arts and crafts forms covered in thick matte green glaze, frequently decorated with carved leaves or flowers. One marked example sold through Christie's for $5,520, while Rago reports exceptional Gruby pieces reaching six figures, including a covered jar with moths that brought $138,600. Authentic factory marks, decorator initials, unusual modeled decoration, and untouched condition are crucial. Never dismiss a simple green vase as cheap garden pottery until you have inspected the underside carefully. Number 7. Early Van Briggle Vases. Van Briggle pottery is recognized by matte glazes, flowing Art Nouveau shapes, and an intertwined AA mark. Later examples can be relatively affordable, but pottery made during artist Van Briggle's lifetime may be extremely valuable. Rare sculptural forms such as the famous Despondency vase are particularly important. Rago reports an early 1902 example selling for $1,800. Date markings, clay color, glaze quality, artist initials, and provenance can separate a decorative vase from a discovery worth tens of thousands of dollars. Number 6. Arequipa Pottery Vases. Arequipa pottery was produced in California and is known for carved botanical decoration, matte glazes, and designs associated with Frederick Hurtenrade. Because the Arequipa name is less familiar than Roseville or McCoy, valuable pieces can be mistaken for generic art pottery. Rago reports that an important Arequipa vase designed by Raid sold for $200,000. Search the underside for impressed markings and carefully study carved flowers, leaves, animals, or repeating patterns before placing an unidentified vase in a yard sale. Number 5. Rare marblehead pottery. Marblehead pieces often have quiet matte glazes and restrained arts and crafts decoration, so they may not look expensive at first, yet the rarest examples can command astonishing prices. Rego reports one exceptional marblehead vase selling for $150,000 and an important Ipswich vase reaching $250,000. Artist initials, rare scenes, early experimental shapes, and documented provenance can completely transform the value. A plain-looking vase in muted blue, green, gray, or brown could deserve a professional evaluation. Number 4. George Orr Twisted Vessels. George Orr called himself the Mad Potter of Biloxi, and his pottery often appears folded, pinched, crumpled, twisted, or deliberately crooked. That unusual appearance is exactly what collectors want. Bonham sold a tall, twin-handled Orr vase for $17,812.50, while Rego reports exceptional pieces reaching approximately $100,000 or more. Look for thin walls, experimental glazes, unexpected shapes, and stamped or incised Biloxi markings. Never attempt to straighten a warped-looking Orr vessel because its strange distortion may be completely intentional. Number 3. Maria Martinez Blackware. Maria Martinez and members of her family created highly polished black-on-black pottery at San Ildefonso Pueblo. Matte designs appear against glossy surfaces and become clearer as light moves across the vessel. Signatures changed over time, including Marie, Maria and Julian, and Maria and Popovi, making the base particularly important for dating. Large early jars, finely painted motifs, and documented family collaborations are highly sought after. Because these pieces hold major artistic and cultural importance, professional authentication and respectful handling are essential. Number 2. Martin Brothers Wally Birds. These unusual stoneware jars resemble grumpy birds with almost human expressions. Made in England by the Martin Brothers, every bird has a slightly different personality, and relatively few were produced. Size, date, expression, condition, and inscriptions all affect value. Rego reports that a tall Wally Bird tobacco jar sold for $800, while Sotheby's notes that unusual Martin Brothers teawares are also particularly scarce. Check every strange antique bird jar for an incised Martin Brothers name, location, and production date. Number 1. Picasso Madura Ceramics. Pablo Picasso created plates, bowls, jugs, and vases at the Madura Pottery in France, decorating them with faces, animals, dancers, and mythological figures. Some were produced as limited editions, while others were unique creations. Christie's reported a previous world auction record of $414,073 for a Picasso ceramic edition. Look for Madura stamps, edition numbers, Picasso markings, and documented provenance, but beware of copies and later decorative reproductions. What appears to be a playful pottery vase could actually be a major work of modern art. So before donating that dusty vase, old crock, strange bird jar, or black pottery bowl, turn it over and study every stamp, signature, and number. The difference between something ordinary and something extraordinary may be hiding underneath.